unlike the other leading figures of Old Testament history. Contrast him, for example, with the stern majesty of Moses, austere and simple as the tables of stone, or with the unvarying tone and the gaunt strength of Elijah. These and the other mighty men in Israel are like the ruder instruments of music, the trumpet of Sinai, with its one prolonged note. David is like his own harp of many chords, through which the breath of God murmured, drawing forth wailing and rejoicing, the clear ring of triumphant trust, the low plaint of penitence, the blended harmonies of all devout emotions. The man had his faults, grave enough. Let it be remembered that no one has judged them more rigorously than himself. The critics who have delighted to point at them have been anticipated by the penitent, and their indictment has been little more than the quotation of his own confession. His tremulously susceptible nature, especially assailable by the delights of sense, led him astray. There are traces in his life of occasional craft and untruthfulness which even the exigency of exile and war do not wholly palliate. Flashes of fierce vengeance at times break from the clear sky of his generous nature. His strong affection became, in at least one case, weak and foolish fondness for an unworthy son. But when all this is admitted, there remains a wonderfully rich, lovable character. He is the very ideal of a minstrel hero, such as the legends of the East especially love to paint. The shepherd's staff or sling, the sword, the scepter, and the lyre are equally familiar to his hands. That union of the soldier and the poet gives the life a peculiar charm, and is very strikingly brought out in that chapter of the book of Samuel, 2 Samuel chapter 23, which begins, "These be the last words of David," and after giving the swan song of him whom it calls the sweet psalmist of Israel, passes immediately to the other side of the dual character with, "These be the names of the mighty men whom David had." Thus, on the one side, we see the true poetic temperament with all its capacities for keenest delight and sharpest agony, with its tremulous mobility, its openness to every impression, its gaze of childlike wonder and eager welcome to whatsoever things are lovely, its simplicity and self-forgetfulness, its yearnings after worlds half-realized, its hunger for love, its pity, and its tears. He was made to be the inspired poet of the religious affections. And on the other side, we see the greatest qualities of a military leader of the antique style, in which personal daring and a strong arm count for more than strategic skill. He dashes at Goliath with an enthusiasm of youthful courage and faith, while still in the earliest bloom of his manhood, at the head of his wild band of outlaws, he shows himself sagacious, full of resource, prudent in counsel, and swift as lightning in act, frank and generous, bold and gentle, cheery in defeat, calm in peril, patient in privations, and ready to share them with his men, modest and self-restrained in victory, chivalrous to his foes, ever watchful, ever hopeful, a born leader and king of men. The basis of all was a profound, joyous trust in his shepherd God, an ardor of personal love to him such as had never before been expressed, if it had ever found place in Israel. That trust opened his mouth to show forth God's praise, and strengthened his fingers to fight. He has told us himself what was his habitual temper, and how it was sustained. "I have set the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth." Psalm 16, verses 8 and 9. Thus endowed, he moved among men with that irresistible fascination which only the greatest exercise. From the day when he stole like a sunbeam into the darkened chamber where Saul wrestled with the evil spirit, he bows all hearts that come under his spell. The women of Israel chant his name with song and timbrel. The daughter of Saul confesses her love unasked. The noble soul of Jonathan cleaves to him. The rude outlaws in his little army peril their lives to gratify his longing for a draught